What is up, Big Blue Nation? Welcome back to the Yak Shack. I'm KT. The purpose of this podcast is going to be simple: to take everything happening with Kentucky football, especially during portal season, and put it all in one clear, concise place so you can get everything you need to know as a Kentucky football fan without chasing information all over the internet. And today, we're doing exactly that with the Kentucky football transfer portal class. This isn't just Kentucky had a good portal. This is one of the best portal classes in the country and that Kentucky's ever had. It is top 10 nationally. It is top 4 in the SEC. And for once, it's not hype. It was this. It was math. It was film. And it's bodies. This episode is your one-stop portal breakdown. We're going to give you real stats, real roles, and real expectations as we head in to the 2026 football season. So let's get into it. Kentucky has added 27 transfer portal players so far, and that number may not be final. And if I had to guess, it isn't. This wasn't just a patch job. This wasn't grabbing a couple names and hoping for the best as we've seen in years past. The new staff under Will Stein looked at last season and said, we're going to fix the foundation of Kentucky football. They attacked the offensive line, roster depth, experience at quarterback and running back, and durability on defense. And the theme across this class, well, it's simple. This roster is older, it's stronger, and it's going to be harder to break. Let's start where football games are actually decided. The big uglies on the offensive line. If Kentucky takes a step forward, this is going to be why. Starting off with Lance Hurd. Lance is a 6'6", 330-pound senior. He's coming in from the Tennessee Volunteers. He's a former five-star recruit, a multi-year SEC starter. He's lined up against, Alabama and Georgia, Florida, and he hasn't just held up, he's dominated. This is an immediate upgrade at the tackle position and one of the most important portal additions Kentucky has made, in years. Next to him is going to be Colton Price, 6'3", 318-pound senior. He's coming to us by way of Baylor. He's played both guard spots, and he's one of the highest graded guards in all of college football. Kentucky hasn't always lacked talent inside. They've lacked reliability. Price gives us that immediately. Along with these two is Tigra Shabola, a 6'6", 322-pound junior. He's transferring in from the Ohio State University, where he was a former five-star recruit. Now, he did have limited starts, but he has elite traits and daily reps against NFL-level competition. This is a high-ceiling investment, and Kentucky finally has the depth to make it work, because depth matters in the SEC. With these guys is going to be Alois Alanen, 6'6", 322-pounder from Alabama. Max Anderson, a 6'5", 311-pounder from Tennessee. And Mark Robinson, a 6'5", 320-pounder from the University of Texas, El Paso. Kentucky didn't just add starters with this group. They added November insurance. Now let's move along to the quarterback room. Let's talk about the guys who are going to lead the Kentucky offense, and the big get for the Wildcat coaching staff was Kenny Minchie. He's a 6'2", 208-pound redshirt sophomore from Notre Dame, a former four-star quarterback. He was the top 12 quarterback out of high school. His career numbers, 15 of 23, 182 yards, only 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions, mainly in mop-up duty, but with limited reps, but excellent decision-making and poise. This is stability with an upside. Joining him in the quarterback room is going to be Ja'Kai Long, a 6'2", 205-pound junior. He's coming to us by way of the Thundering Herd over at Marshall. He adds depth and competition and even experience in a quarterback room. Kentucky needed a quarterback room that could function under pressure, and now it has. And now it can, and now it will, and they're not done at the quarterback position, trust me. Moving along to the running backs. C.J. Baxter, a 6'1", 227-pound junior. Holy moly, this kid's coming in from Texas. He's a former five-star recruit, the biggest get, I think, out of all these groups. His career production number, is only about 1,200 rushing yards with 7 total touchdowns. Big body, SEC frame, looks like an SEC running back getting off the bus. This is ready-made production day one. Javonte Barnes joins him in the backfield, 6', 211-pound junior. He's coming in from the Oklahoma Sooners. He's been in rotational usage in a very, very physical offense. Kentucky now has backs who can rotate without drop-off. That's the first time in several years we can say that. That matters late in games, and it matters late in seasons. Let's move over to the wideouts. These receivers, well, this room is a lot deeper. It's more competitive, and it's way more versatile than we've seen in a while. The big get for this group, well, it's Nick Anderson, 6'4", 208 pounds. He's coming to us by way of the Bayou Bengals, but he was originally at Oklahoma. His career highlight season at OU, 38 catches, 798 yards with 10 touchdowns as a freshman with over 20 yards per catch. When healthy, he changes defensive spacing immediately. Joining him, a silently impressive get with Shane Carr, 6'2", 190 pounds. He's a junior transferring from Southern Utah. His career numbers, 81 catches, 1,371 yards, and 10 touchdowns. Yes, it's FCS, but production and speed, well, they travel, and he has 2 years left. Joining those guys is Ja'Caden Ferguson. He's 6'2", 187 pounds. He's transferring in from the Arkansas Razorbacks. The next guy, Brock Kaufman, 6', 180-pound junior. We stole him from those Dirty Birds over in Louisville, where he's transferring in. His speed and spacing are important, and he's a threat on both. Joining him is Xavier Daisy, 6'3", 210-pound senior. He's transferring in from UAB. His career down in Alabama, Birmingham, he had 45 catches, 700 yards, and 5 touchdowns. He's a proven group of 5 production, a guy with size, and that's important. Let's move over to the defense. Now, this defense, this is where Kentucky quietly did a lot of work. This wasn't about stars. This was about building a defense that survives the SEC grind. And we start with the linebackers, the most important core. The big get from this group, Elijah Barnes, 6'1", 244 pounds. He's coming from those Texas Longhorns. He's plug and play day one. He's going to be a starter there in the defensive linebacking position. Joining him, Tavion Wallace, 6'1", 239 pounds. He's from Arkansas. Probably recognize the name. His brother played for the Wildcats. Kentucky simply got tougher in the middle. The defensive line and edge, those guys are just as important. We start off with Jamarian Harkless. Holy moly, 6'3", 345 pounds. He's coming in from the Purdue Boilermakers. Let me tell you, he's a fourth quarter football body. Joining him on the defensive line is Dominic Wiseman, 6'2", 300 pounds. He's a senior. He's coming in from South Alabama. While he was down there, he was a rotational starter, but he adds strong interior depth. Joining those guys is Ahmad Bro, 6'3", 278 pounds. If you didn't tell by the name, he's coming to us by way of the Bayou Bengals as well down at LSU. He had limited snaps, but he has SEC pedigree. Joining these guys, Antonio O'Berry, 6'6", 240 pounds. He's a senior. He's coming in from Gardner-Webb, where he had 90 tackles, 12-plus sacks, multiple forced fumbles, one of the most productive pass rushers in this entire class, and was wanted by just about every program in the country, and especially the SEC. Moving on to the secondary, we added Jordan Castell, 6'2", 213-pound junior. He's coming to us from the Swamp, from the Gators. He is a day one contributor and starter for the Kentucky defense. Joining him, his teammate from Florida, Aaron Gates, 6', 198-pound senior. He's also coming to us from Gainesville, where he had 50 tackles. He had rotational SEC snaps, but was a big part of that defense. Cyrus Reyes, 6'1", 200 pounds. He's a senior transferring in from the Mississippi State Bulldogs, where he had about 60 tackles, and he was physical in the run support down in Starkville. Jesse Anderson joins these guys, 6', 185 pounds. He's a senior. He's coming to us from the Pitt Panthers. He's a veteran DB, much needed in our secondary. Mark Manford III, he is a 6'1", 166-pound senior. He's coming to us from Missouri, where he had rotational SEC corner snaps. He's going to be joined by Hassan Sykes, who's a 6', 185-pound senior, coming to us from Western Carolina, where he had 65 tackles, multiple pass breakups. Now let me give you a note here. When you hear people talk about depth, this is what they mean with what Kentucky has added in the secondary. But not just the secondary, Kentucky added bodies at every defensive position. So injuries don't derail a season as we've seen in the past. As for the special teams, Adam Zweige, 5'11", 188-pound senior. He's coming to us by way of South Florida. While he was down there with the Bulls, he had a career field goal rate of around 80%. Steady Eddie, reliable, necessary to win games late in the season. And one more thing, Kentucky is not done in the portal. Late entries happen as we saw some guys jump into the portal just yesterday. Kentucky still has scholarships. They still have NIL flexibility, and they still absolutely have momentum with Will Stein and this crew. Do not be surprised if another defensive lineman, defensive back, or experienced depth piece joins this class. So what's the final verdict? Well, let's say it plainly. This portal class fixed the offensive line, added real SEC running backs, stabilized the quarterback position, and deepened the defense. Well, is it perfect? No. No portal class is perfect. Is it elite? Well, it's getting there, but this is the most complete portal class Kentucky has ever assembled. The floor is higher, the roster is tougher, and the excuses are gone with Will Stein and his staff. So what does this mean for Big Blue Nation coming up on next year's football season? Well, Kentucky didn't win the offseason with headlines. They won it with structure, depth, and they won it with specific intent. This roster is built to survive injuries, built to win ugly games, built to be standing in November with a lot of pizzazz to it as well. If you like this kind of content, real information, real context, no fluff, make sure you like, subscribe, and share the Yak Shack so other Kentucky fans can find it as well. I am KT. This has been the Yak Shack. We'll see you guys next time.